A man walks into a red phone booth, but fails to notice the iron gate behind him slowly closing. He inserts a coin into the phone booth to make a call, but the phone is broken and won't work at all. Angry about losing $1, he has no idea that the real horror is only just beginning. When he tries to leave, he finds the iron gate won't open. He feels puzzled, thinking someone must be playing a prank, temporarily trapping him here. The sun is unusually scorching, beating down on the man, causing him, who was originally calm, to gradually become irritable. Fortunately, 2 passers-by heading to work happen to stop by. The man quickly taps on the glass to ask them for help. Seeing this, the 2 approach. His voice is muffled and can't get through, but luckily, through gestures, the passers-by understand what he means. They pull hard on the door from outside, while the man pushes hard from inside, trying together to force the door open. After trying for a while, the iron gate still doesn't budge. At this moment, the man also notices the strange behavior of the people has attracted a growing crowd of curious onlookers. The 2 outside glance at their watches, since they need to get to work. They have no choice but to leave for now. At this point, the man remains fairly optimistic, smiling as he says goodbye to the 2. In just this short time, more and more people gather around. A delivery worker stops on his way to make a drop-off. Office workers heading to their jobs also pause. All want to see this curious spectacle, which even draws the attention of a strongman. After a quick look at the phone booth, the strongman decides to try pulling the glass door open. He's very strong, but even using all his strength, he breaks the door handle, yet still can't open it. The crowd around laughs at his comical efforts. Even the trapped man chuckles. The strongman wants to prove himself further. He starts building up momentum, intending to smash through the glass with his body. All the men thought they were about to be rescued. However, the strongman tried several times, but failed each time. Laughter rose again from the crowd, and eventually, he slunk away in embarrassment. Clearly, brute strength wasn't going to work. Skill was needed instead. An experienced repairman stepped forward. The repairman carefully examined the phone booth, only to find there wasn't even a single screw on it. He had absolutely no idea where to start. Eventually, he spotted a narrow gap. He tried prying the door open with a screwdriver, but the gap was too small, and he simply couldn't budge it. He then attempted to pry open another gap above, but that didn't work either. The repairman was at a loss. To prove how skilled he was, the repairman reattached the door handle the strongman had broken earlier. Knowing he had done his best, the man didn't blame him either. Just then the man noticed that as more people gathered around, a miniature society began to form. A shoe shiner was polishing shoes for money, a street vendor was selling balloons, and some shady characters were sneaking food when no one was looking, yet no one could figure out how to get him out. Feeling helpless, the man swatted down to rest when suddenly, the sound of a fire truck approached in the distance. Someone had called the police, and summoned the fire department. The man instantly perked up. After briefly assessing the situation, the firefighters circled the phone booth for a closer look. Soon they came up with a plan. They set up a ladder, and intended to break the glass from above. The man grew nervous, worried that falling shards might hit him on the head. Just as the firefighter was about to act, someone shouted from afar, ordering them to stop. The masterminds behind this scheme finally appeared, dressed in green uniforms. They falsely claimed to be employees of the phone booth company, and insisted on taking the damaged booth back to their facility for repairs. The man was utterly baffled. Why just when he was about to be rescued was this happening now? He wanted to stop them, but no sound would come out ultimately. The man was taken away. The onlookers happily said, "Don't worry, they'll get you out." Under the comfort of the crowd, the man felt somewhat calmer. At this moment he still hadn't realized how serious things were. As long as he could get out eventually, it wouldn't matter if it took a little longer. But when pedestrians on the street saw him, the man felt somewhat embarrassed. The car drove farther and farther away, slowly leaving the city behind as it traveled down the road. While waiting at a red light, there happened to be a funeral taking place right next to them. The deceased lay inside a transparent coffin. How similar this was to the man's own situation. He too was trapped inside a red telephone booth. Finally, at the traffic light, the man realized something was wrong. He saw another person trapped just like him, confined in an identical telephone booth. Only they understood each other's suffering. How could something like this be mere coincidence? The man finally realized this was a conspiracy. He pounded desperately on the glass, trying to get the driver to let him out. Seeing that the driver ignored him, he frantically begged passers-by for help. However, since his voice couldn't get out, people assumed he was just waving hello, and cheerfully waved back at him. Exhausted, thirsty and hungry, the man lost all his strength. Despairingly, he lay down as the car continued driving farther away. It reached a nearly uninhabited outskirts area. The man thought of his family. He opened his wallet. Taking one last look at his wife and son, he recalled what had happened that morning. He couldn't understand what had gone wrong. Just then, a military helicopter appeared in the sky. The man mustered his last bit of strength to call for help. Although the helicopter clearly saw him frantically signaling for help, it flew straight away. It turned out the helicopter was guiding the car. Even a military helicopter had been mobilized. What exactly was going on? Why were they taking him? He was just an ordinary citizen, led by the helicopter. They arrived deep within a mountainous area at the end of the road. A tunnel appeared, and then the car drove into it where flickering lights made everything seem even more terrifying. Here, a group of people were assembling phone booths that couldn't be opened. They would then take the booths outside. Each phone booth represented a human being who was to be locked inside. Finally, the car came to a stop. The man had reached his destination. Terrified, the man looked up as a crane in the sky slowly lowered a suction cup. It then lifted the man along with the phone booth and placed him onto a conveyor belt. All would turn into skeletons in despair. Outside, the workers placed another phone booth there again. Will someone fall for it this time? And will people finally notice what's wrong with it? As the conveyor belt kept moving, the man finally felt utter despair. In front of him were others just like him trapped as well.